Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Can you put on the headphones now? Sorry. Sorry for the delay. Yep.
Yeah. Please give me a clap if you can hear me. Thank you. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra, and I'm from the Etherspot team. Thanks for attending our workshop today, and we are going to tell you how to improve and simplify the user experience of your dApp, and also how to go cross-chain. Let's start. All right, so why did we decide to create Etherspot? Well, obviously we faced some issues that we would like to be able to solve. For example, the complex Web3 user experience for average users. Let's imagine that you are an average crypto user and you want to take part in some staking program, let's say, of KlimaDAO. And it requires to stake Klima tokens, which are based on Polygon. But you currently have only tokens on Gnosis chain. So what options do you have? First of all, you can go to the exchange, right, and just purchase some tokens. But at the same time, you already have some crypto tokens in your wallet, and why do you need to purchase more? So another step, you can, for example, find some bridging solutions and try to bridge your tokens. But again, it requires additional steps. At the same time, when you are interacting with different blockchains, you have to switch RPC network in your wallet or even add it. So it's also quite annoying. And at the same time, when you perform any transactions, you have to sign it every time after each transaction. Well, I can say that, like, for not advanced users, it can be a showstopper because you have to perform a lot of actions. Another example, let's say that you would like to perform the cross-chain swap, and you need to have a gas tokens on the destination chain. Otherwise, yes, you can complete the cross-chain swap, but then you will be stuck because without gas tokens, you are not able to operate on any blockchain. Another thing is that onboarding to self-custody is hard at the moment. So recently, I reinstalled my Chrome browser, and I realized that I need to submit seed phrases to be able to get access to my wallet. But then I totally forgot where I saved them, and I lost 12 phrases. I lost access to my wallet, and so there is no option to recovery. I lost my funds, but fortunately it was just one of my testing wallets, and I didn't have a lot of tokens there. But in any case, it's quite an unpleasant situation, and I think that any user can be in the same situation. And also, it's generally accepted that hard wallets are more secure than any other wallets. But you know that they are not quite user-friendly, and at the same time, not all of the users can afford to get these wallets. So obviously, these are not all of the issues that we faced with, but I believe that they are the most relevant at the moment according to the market situation. Next one. So we have a solution for you. It's Etherspot. Etherspot, it's an account abstraction SDK that can deliver a frictionless Web3 user experience. So it means that users don't need to switch or add RPC networks in the wallet. At the same time, it enables asset management on multiple VM chains. And also, you can see here the screenshot of the tweet from one influencer. And here he shows how a typical DeFi app works today, and at the same time, how he thinks it should work. And actually, the second picture is what Etherspot can provide you with. With our batch transactions, Etherspot can batch several transactions into one, and for users, it will be just one-click action. And let's look back to my example with cross-chain swaps. Well, I mentioned that users have to get some gas tokens on the destination chain, but with Etherspot, it's not needed because users can pay for transactions with any token. It can be stablecoin or any other token. Next one. All right. And also, Etherspot can deliver an easy onboarding to self-custody for your users. So they can get access to the smart wallets via their social media accounts or, for example, email address. And it means that they don't need to set up these seed phrases, keep them somewhere. And there is a recovery option as well, because they can just get access via their social media accounts as well. Smart wallets are more secure than hard wallets because you can simply lose the USB stick itself. And you will lose your funds. Next one. Well, Etherspot has a lot of outstanding features like transaction batching, sponsored transactions, meta transactions, multi-chain NFT support, fiat on and off-ramp support, and it's without KYC for users up to 1,000 euros per day. And we have quite a friendly environment for developers. We have updated documentation. You can find it on our website. And in case you have any questions, you can just simply reach out to our dev team, for example, on Discord or Telegram, and they will be able to help you. But I will share the links later. At the same time, Etherspot supports more than 15 EVM-compatible blockchains, and it means that your dApp will be able to capture cross-chain liquidity, and you don't need to deploy your dApp on any chain separately. And the star of our presentation is the BUIDLer React component. This is a component for plug-and-play integration. And I'm passing it over to Vignesh to present it.
So many thanks, Alexandra, for explaining the Etherspot SDK. But then now we are going into the builder. So SDK builder is a React component that we have built on top of the SDK to showcase you what the SDK can do. So SDK builder is actually two lines of code which is required for the SDK to, for the builder to integrate it to your front end. So as you can see, you can just import our npm package and then just say Etherspot. That's all. So all the things that we have said, like smart wallet, all the interactions will be done inside the Etherspot itself. So what you need to do is just write Etherspot tagline. That's all. So it's very easy for the developers, for yourselves. So that's how to integrate builder. But I'm going to talk about the features that they're there in the builder itself. So first is multi-call transactions. Multi-call transactions, as you can see by the name itself, it's like calling multiple transactions into one. So it's a smart way to actually submit the transactions. So what I did on the this one screenshot is from USD, I'm actually swapping to Aave, and it's for 2 USDC. And again, I'm actually starting the multi-call, and the Aave is actually pre-selected because you are actually receiving the Aave. And how much you're receiving is actually on the this one offer that you get over here. So if it is 0.03 Aave, then 0.03 is the remaining one, which is already there. Then you can actually use that 0.03 on the next step itself, without even executing the transaction on the blockchain. So this one can be done via multi-call transactions. So one of our testers actually did it, and you can see the transaction details where he actually sent 2 USDC, but at the end he received 2.7 USDC on the same chain itself. So he got like 0.7 USDC more than what he sent. So it's actually kind of, if you know persons in share market and all, it's actually trading that you give, and you can get profit out of it also. But this is just just an example. But then it depends on the luck and the share markets. Like that time, the offers was like this, so he got it. But then it depends on the luck, guys. So this is just this one illustration. But then You can do lots more into this itself, like an innovation. So next one is shared sessions. In this, the React component, when you actually sign one transaction, I mean, when you sign from Keybase to your contract call for deploying the smart contract, you are just signing it once, and you are actually accessing it for 15 different chains. If you actually kind of switch network also, it's going to access the other chain without even asking you next sign. So it's just about that. So we have actually built a ClimaDAO example for you to illustrate custom contract interaction. So stake into SClima from any of the assets which are there in XDAI or BNB or whatever the thing is. So first, what happens is you have to select the from asset, and then SClima is automatically selected because it's a ClimaDAO contract. So the minimum amount is 0.4 USD because you need to pay the gas fees from the USDC that you are going to send. You don't have to actually have the native token on the Polygon itself. You can actually kind of execute the transaction on Polygon itself without the native gas token. So it's on the Polygon. You are actually submitting meta transaction. Meta transaction is nothing but paying gas fees via the USDC itself. So the next one is I'm going to tell you the steps that are involved. So from USDC on Genesis XDAI, I'm actually kind of building a cross chain to USDC on Polygon first. That is the first step. And then from Polygon, it's actually staked into Klima to get SClima. So all these steps are actually one single click away. So that's what is the ClimaDAO example. But then I would say this is the custom contract interaction that you have to give. So for example, you would have the contract API yourself, which is there in the blockchain itself, and you would have the contract address, which is also there in the blockchain itself. What you need to do is just register the contract in the SDK itself so that you can actually call the method under that contract execution. For example, for let's say staking or yield protocol or something like that. So you can call the contract function using these steps alone. So what you get at the end would be the transaction request, which is like to and data, which needs to be sent. That's all. That's all is the steps for the custom contract interaction. So the next one is, so we are open for innovation. So if you feel like you can do something else also, you are open to actually submit a PR under this website. I mean this GitHub repo itself. This GitHub repo is actually open source. Everything that I've talked about before is actually available inside this Git repo itself. So you can just scan the QR code to get the URL, and then you can actually see the source code of the package itself, which I have said before. So that's really helpful for you, for the developers, and I think that you can actually do it pretty well. So this is Etherspot Playground. Etherspot Playground is something that we have built so that we will demonstrate the SDK examples in the website itself. So you can just go into the website, and what it does is every functionality that it is there on the SDK has been illustrated with the code examples itself. So you just need to create an SDK inside it, and you can test it. So it is also available on testnets. So please test it once, and then you can do whatever you want. So we are also running bounties in this hackathon. So the first is best full-fledged SDK implementation, which is like it should actually contain most of the important SDK methods that are there, so that that will be served as an example for full-fledged SDK implementation. The next one would be best protocol interaction. Best protocol interaction into Builder is something that custom contract interaction, just as I said, ClimaDAO example, it's already there on the repo, but you need to actually build some other thing. So for example, so we actually have 15 different chains, I mean 15 plus chains that we support. So any of those chains, DAO can also be included in this itself. So that's it. So that prize money is 2,500 USD. The first one would be 4,000 USD, and the last one, which is best integration of the builder, which is all front-end guys. So if you feel like it needs something else rather than cross-chain, simple swap, and send this one send functionality which is included on the builder component, then you can actually build something else and then show it to us. So that's included, and that prize money is 1,500 USD. Next is we are actually combining with LeafEye with the bounty to select the best project for that collaboration. So that ideas would be, so LeafEye is actually integrated with cross-chain swaps and single-chain swaps. Single-chain swaps is like you will have the provider inside, just see if it is LeafEye, then that is actually kind of valid in this bounties. For cross-chain, everything is valid because cross-chain we have it LeafEye integrated. So that's all available. The first place is 750 USD, the second place is 450, and the third place is 300. So the next one.
Yeah. So yeah, here, can you change the place? Also, I wanted to mention quite important point, I guess, that we are not newbies in the sphere, and we have quite a solid background in blockchain development, and we've been working on Etherspot since 2017. So, and Etherspot is audited by Consensus Diligence, and we have battle-tested, trusted, and reliable smart contracts. So here, please feel free to scan this QR code. You will get all the links that we used in this presentation. Also, you will get all the links to our social media networks. Please feel free to join us there. And also, we have a booth there. If you would like to have a chat with us or you have any questions that you would like to discuss, please feel free to come to our booth and let's build together. Thank you.
Yeah. So any question, guys? Just 1 minute.
Questions.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Go on, guys.
I think I can't hear.
Yeah,
Yep.
we just wanted to understand how configurable is the entire SDK.
Just 1 minute, 1 minute. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, just wanted to understand like how configurable is the entire.
Volume. Excuse me, can you just increase the volume? That's fine.
Yeah, is it
Yep.
all right now?
Yep.
Yeah, just wanted to understand how configurable is the entire SDK.
How comfortable is the entire
Configurable,
SDK?
configurable.
Sorry?
Configurable.
Configurable. Okay. So the thing is, we are all open source. So whatever the parameters that are there as default is actually changeable, right? Because we are open source in the first place, and the SDK configurations are all available on the docs that if you need. For example, for cross-chain, you'll have like from chain, from asset ID and all. That will be there on the docs itself. So please just look at the playground and the documentation for all the details. Or if not, please come to the booth. I'll settle all the doubts that are there. I mean, on the this one configurations and all. Sure. So, any other questions? Yeah, all good? Please press thumbs up if it's all good.
Thank you.
It's just to interact, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much.